Yeah, we made the postseason, but so did the Marlins. Hey, can we give it a round of
Hey,
applause
you know
for
what,
the
Marlins?
That's our AAA affiliate, or
Asterisk. Put an
yeah.
asterisk next to that because with the restructuring of the minor league baseball
It
system,
could get silly.
we might
gonna
end up
plummet.
getting. Yeah, it's gonna trip and then fall. What is happening, guys? You might know me as Alex from Baseball Cards AF. Now you can know me as Alex with Wheat State Creates. And today, I'm back and I'm with my brother. We are back.
We're back, baby.
And we're doing your guys' favorite biased and unbacked up baseball podcast, Xtra Spicy.
It's about to get hot up in this biz.
Now, this podcast is not sponsored by Xtra Pib Extra, but
if they want to sponsor, hit us up.
Connor?
Yeah. What's going on? I'm so happy to be back on this.
It's 2020.
It's 2020, yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, in let's say March,
we were expecting something fantastic. I think we're thinking about the same thing.
We were expecting to be able to sit in April in a brand new stadium in Wichita, Kansas to see a AAA affiliated baseball game.
How about that Wichita wind surge?
And it got ripped out from under us. And then spring training happened. And then spring training
and then it didn't happen any longer.
It got cut short. And then we're like, you know what? It's just going to be delayed 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
And then that 2 weeks turned into a month. And then a month turned into, you get it. And that's how everyone's year has been. But
we're back and we're ready to give you some spicy takes to get your head off of the COVID season and into the extra spicy off season, baby.
But first, this episode's going to have to be about the shortened season. 60 games.
Yep.
The Cardinals played how many?
58.
8.
They were 2 away because they didn't have to play in.
That's right. But they still made the postseason.
Detroit. They made the postseason.
But they still made the postseason.
They sure
did.
But
you know what? I'm not even going to segue into anything. I'm going straight for the jugular, and please rebuttal whenever you feel.
Also, before we go any further, yeah, we made the postseason, but so did the Marlins. Hey, can we give it a round of applause for the Marlins? That's our AAA affiliate. Or
asterisk. Put an asterisk next to that because with the restructuring of the minor league baseball system,
it could get silly.
We might end up getting. Yeah, it's gonna trip and then fall. But Connor,
it's sad.
Connor,
yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for these spicy. Give me it.
Let's do a tribute to Alex Trebek real quick, okay?
Oh, gosh.
What team had the highest payroll for 8 years in a row, had 3 attempts at a World Series, who played 60 regular season games and ended up with a number 1 seed, and ended up winning the World Series that ended up going to 6 games against the 4th lowest payroll in the majors.
That's very specific, and that would be the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I'm sorry, I was looking for who are
Los Angeles who are the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Boop, boop. That's correct.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Alex. Moment of silence for Alex real quick. Okay. I don't know why you're laughing.
I'm not laughing. You dropped your phone.
Ducked.
I'm not laughing at Alex Trebek.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that man.
Dodgers are not in the same category as
Disagree.
The 2004 Red Sox.
Disagree.
The 2006 Cardinals. The 27-time World Series champion Yankees.
Disagree.
The 2020 LA Dodgers are not in the same category. They're not. I'm sorry. And you're wrong. At whatever your opinion is, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Because it's a 60-game shortened season with the freaking highest payroll in the majors. Again, and they beat whoop-de-freaking-do. They beat the fourth lowest payroll in the MLB, and it still took them 6 games.
I will tell you, this is straight cold, hard facts out of my brain. This is not cold, hard facts. This is my opinion. My opinion is right because that's the way that I am. This is extra spicy. Let's get into it.
Let's see it.
60-game season. I'm going to flip it on you because that might just be the hardest, one of the hardest things you could do. The reason I'm saying that, okay, you get 162, and I'm not just saying that to like spice things up. I actually think that this season was so abnormal with all the bubbles, with all the COVID testing, with all the routines that they were out of. I legitimately think that the Dodgers, take the Dodgers. I'm just saying like any team in general, it had to be the Dodgers that won, right? Like it had to be. They were the favorite. They were the ones that were going into it. But the thing with that is like they still had to test every single day. They had to stay in a bubble throughout the playoffs every single day throughout the playoffs. They weren't even playing in their hometown. All those different things, not playing in front of their fans, that could help or not. But I truly believe that this doesn't make them any less of a champion than all those teams that you're mentioning. 27-time New York Yankees, 11-time Cardinals, all those teams, the Boston Red Sox in 2004, they are on a different level because they were down. That was a tremendous story. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I just think that this is a crazy cool story for any team that has won the World Series in any year. Prove me wrong. Or why do you think that?
It is easy, and it is my same argument for Randy or Rosalina. This same vein, this same argument can be applied for both Randy or Rosalina and the hype that was not deserved.
I know where you're going with this.
So 60 games, that's 102 games shorter than the regular season. What happens in the mid-months? What happens in the mid-months for any professional athlete in their sport?
Specifically baseball.
Specifically baseball. And okay, I'm going to liken it where I understood it as far as an athlete when I was an athlete and I use athlete very loosely, middle school. Athlete, okay, they trained you to peak right before they trained you properly and to peak right before your championship, so you got that push. 60 games. That's when people are hitting their stride.
Yeah.
Especially people in their rookie season or early on in their career. They're just finding it out, especially if they're getting into a, let's say, I don't know, continuous rhythm where there isn't any more than maybe one day off in a week. Like, say, a shortened 60-game season.
Right.
So when you have the highest paid athletes in the sport and they are all on the same trajectory, playing the same amount of time, and are
just peaking, in a shortened season,
they're
too.
Peaking,
I see what you're saying.
They're peaking at the right time, where basically that threshold where they would peak in a normal season is them performing in the postseason. It's a joke.
Well, and remind these people listening, who did you hear this first from?
So Connor,
and I'm playing devil's advocate, of course, on this podcast because I see both sides of it, but where did you hear that first from?
So I heard it first from you, that theory first from you, but then I'm like, no, you're entirely right. You
Right.
said it very casually, and then I started going full blown overthinking, analytical, specifically about a Rosalina, but it can be applied to the entire season. And I'm sorry, there's a huge asterisk on this entire thing.
Well, and I think that also looking at Kershaw, this is a huge thing. Kershaw in his midsummer months around the 60 to 90 game 90 game within the season, like a normal season, who would you rather go to than Clayton Kershaw in a regular season game? You would want to go to Clayton Kershaw.
He's peak performance. He is the trusty steed who you're going to be riding all the way to
the postseason. Then he fizzles out around 163, 4, 5, whatever it is.
Because if you look at his stats, and guys, I mean no disrespect to Kershaw, he is one of my all-time favorite players, but his postseason performance has always been a joke and a punchline. Specifically because of the Cardinals, and they have his number every day of the week, but specifically in the postseason. But this year, he was different in the postseason, and
there's
he
a
looked
reason.
beautiful.
There's a reason.
He looked so good.
There's a reason for that, and that's because of the season. That's literally because of the shortened season. That's my thing. Like, I see both sides of this. I was just trying to get a little extra spicy at the beginning. I see both sides of how this could be stripped away. Like, they're not going to strip it, but like how the World Series could be tainted a little bit because they only play. They had to win. Well, with the expanded, it was probably around 13 to 14 games won.
So they're
after the 60 game season.
They're winning. Let's just say they're winning 80 games total. Okay, they're playing 80 games total, right? I don't know. I check me on it if you need to. You get my gist. They did. It's a joke. And the other thing, and the thing that I realized it was really a joke about this season, and don't get me wrong, entertainment value phenomenal. I needed it more than probably anyone. I was very depressed early on in the year when I'm like, I just want something to
you want something to look
forward to every day, because there isn't much to look forward to. But when I found out, and I thought it was a joke at first, when I found out that Tyler ONeil won a Gold Glove,
Good
and
Lord.
I asked Connor, I'm like, how many games did he play? Do you know? Because I would have sworn he did not start more than 20 games.
Well, when you're just talking about a shortened season like that,
that's
you make a couple good diving plays, a couple good. You have less opportunities in the ones that it's the same thing as Pete Kershaw at around 60 to 80 games. ONeil played a good majority of them in left field, and the amount of opportunities that he had, he provided. He made the catch. He had some defensive runs saved.
Average performance, in my opinion. Sure, everyone catches a golden goose. You played baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have, how many people, like, each person gets like their day. They get their play. They get their ball. They get their catch.
Yeah.
Right? At least once a season.
Yeah, but what are you saying that ONeil didn't have? But like, I don't.
I'm not saying he just had one, but I'm just saying that, like, overall average. And I'm saying
you could say that about anybody in this season.
I'm not specifically going after him. I'm using him as an example because between him and Wong as the Cardinal Gold Glove winners, Wong, I do think, deserved it.
But why did he deserve it in a 60 game season? ONeil didn't. Like, you're picking on ONeil, obviously.
I'm picking on ONeil mainly because I didn't realize he played that much. I knew Wong played every day.
Well, And the caliber of defensive player that Wong is, obviously, he is a Gold Glove.
Yeah, it's just like
he's a Gold Glover. He has 2 Gold Gloves now, back to back. But like
now, maybe ONeil's he's not as flashy, or I mean, a left field Gold Glove. What is that really? I mean,
a
like
Gold Glove's. Hey,
Gold Glove's a Gold Glove. No,
Nah.
again, don't get my words twisted.
I'm gonna. That was
just I don't have a Gold Glove. I don't have.
You don't have shit.
I don't have shit. But no, I as much as I love the sport, I just don't know the integrity of the history books. If they're gonna put an asterisk next to my number 1 first favorite player, McGuire, the Astros need the asterisk. The 2020 Dodgers need an asterisk. This year needs an asterisk, and that's really kind of all I'm getting.
Well, and I think that the asterisk will be there in the people that live through this.
Absolutely.
Our grandkids, our kids, primarily our grandkids, whoever, figuratively speaking, they're going to look back and say, okay, if they're Dodgers fans, they're going to look back and say, okay, yeah, they won the 2020.
Yeah.
Well, then Grandpa's going to be like, that was COVID season, like it's not going to be actually an asterisk, but I see where you're saying is that it's tainted. It's a little tainted. Whether it's you believe that or not, in some aspect, it was a season that we have never seen before, and I'm afraid
we might see another one.
Maybe not 60 games because they might figure out their shit before then. But we'll have to see.
Now, before we finish up this one, I did want to make a note. You sent me a video, and it made me tear up because I knew what it meant to the person in the video. And you sent it to me, and this guy, he was wearing a Dodgers cap and burst into tears after they won.
Yeah, the caption read, this was the first, the caption read that his dad had passed away a few months ago.
And was a huge Dodgers fan.
Huge Dodgers fan. The guy was actually holding what you would actually believe to think that it was his dad's hat and his dad's jersey that he was wearing. And the pure, thing about it now makes me want to tear up because it, I know you know just as well as I know that bond.
I know what that feels like, and I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by family when the Cardinals won the World Series, and the crazy stars that aligned that allowed me specifically to be able to join them in watching that. There was a lot of stuff in high school that I was a part of, and long story short, weather delayed the World Series that day
in 2011
to the next day, where the Game 7 should have been on a Friday night, and it got pushed to a Saturday night. And I was able to watch the Cardinals win the World Series. I got to watch that, and I got to share it with everyone who cared about it. And it was just, as much as I just shit on the Dodgers,
I can't
take that away from anyone. And, congratulations on them. And more importantly, congratulations to the fans that needed that. And specifically to that individual who burst into tears holding his child and what seemed to be his dad's jersey and hat.
Nothing can take that away.
You
can't take that away from those people. We can BS and talk about how there's an asterisk, but for them, that might be the last time they see them win. And certainly that's something. Listen, if you got moms, dads, this is just shouting it out. If you got moms, dads, grandparents around, and you guys aren't watching games with them, I'm not telling you what to do, but just cherish those moments.
Cherish the moments that you get. And if you ever are able to get into a stadium again where we can actually watch, cherish it. Get off your phone for a minute and
just soak it all in.
Take it all in. And
I think that's important. Like that's crazy.
I don't know. I wanted to end it on that note and say, like, I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone, and a lot of this is just like, you know what, good entertainment.
Yeah.
But the ending note for me, people are going through a lot. Fans of things are going through a lot, and I truly believe in fate-based things. And obviously, there are people that, in this gentleman's case, he needed that. And I don't know what he was going through. Obviously depression and sadness and losing
grief,
all this sort of stuff. So it's not going to bring anything back, but it will at least speed up that healing process, even just a minuscule second.
And that's
because he had happiness.
Yeah. And that's just the beauty of sports in general. And you know, that's the fun thing, is that we can create this conversation over something so simple as baseball and call it Xtra Spicy and share it with the world. And that's just the memories that we're making in these crazy times. And for that specific guy that's a Dodgers fan, he made that memory, and it meant so much to him.
And I'll end it on, wasn't a fan of the Dodgers winning, but my God, that guy deserved it, and that swayed me on feeling okay about them winning.
As well as many other Dodger fans, I'm sure.
Yes.
That's just the one that we saw.
Exactly. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to our new and improved Xtra Spicy on Wheat State Creates. Don't worry, it'll still be posted on Baseball Cards AF. I do plan on posting some more content on Baseball Cards AF as I get my life kind of back together. Anyway,
go subscribe before we end this. Go subscribe on Instagram at Wheat State Creates and YouTube at Wheat State Creates. If you enjoyed this conversation, Wheat State Creates is an umbrella of many different things that we create. Go follow, like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. Alex, what do you got?
Well, I've got a little contest for you guys. We need to beef up our numbers. We need to beef up our reviews on Apple Podcasts specifically. And I am issuing a challenge to anyone who is interested in following Wheat State Creates. I would like you guys to do a 5-star review. And what I mean by that is, you can review our podcast. You can review Connor and I and our producer, Jerry, as people. Give me a good memory. Give us recommendations on what you would like us to cover, whether that's with conversation on Connor's podcast. Give us hot and spicy takes on baseball front. I am going to be doing a Stacks of Wax music and baseball card based podcast, focusing on collecting and music and that sort of stuff. Give us a review on that. It's got to be 5 stars.
Can't be 4.
Can't be 4 stars. Got to be 5 stars. And we're going to read some of our favorite ones that are written. And once we hit 20 5-star reviews.
20, that is 20, not 25. That is 20 space 5-star
reviews. We're going to pick our favorite. And I'm going to give you guys an autographed Pat Neshek card. And your choice of either like 20 or 30 of your favorite team, favorite player, or a couple unopened packs. I'm calling it the Baseball Cards AF Xtra Spicy giveaway by Wheat State Creates.
Presented by Wheat State Creates. We really, really appreciate you guys listening. We really do.
So we are going to end this podcast how I end every one of my videos. Connor, thank you so much for joining. You're going to be with us again.
It's been a pleasure.
On every Xtra Spicy. Anyway, you guys know the routine. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, till next time, see ya.